Before we start the show, I want to quickly plug our socials. Follow us on Instagram at bestyever_pod. Also, we're on Blue Sky, Best You Ever Pod, and on YouTube, Best You Ever Pod. We do share some shorts over there. Please email us. Tell us your thoughts, feelings, questions, recipes, jokes, anything that you want to tell us. You can email us to bestyeverypod@gmail.com. But also follow, subscribe, rate us on Spotify and Apple Pod. All right, let's start this shit.
Hell yeah. Welcome to Best Year Ever, a movie podcast where each week, one movie at a time, we attempt to answer this very important question. Was 1999 the best year ever for movies? However, this week we're doing a special episode. Who's this we, you ask? Well, I'm your host, Casey Glenn, and with me is my co-host, the incorrigible, frenetic, wise alecky, Jesus Gonzalez. Hi, Jesus.
Hi, Casey. Changing it up a little bit. Nice.
Mm-hmm.
I don't want to know which character you're comparing me with this time.
Mm-hmm.
You can point him out because there's a lot of very colorful characters in this movie. And I am going to point them out in the starting off. I'm going to list a bunch of them because all of the cons have very specific and fun nicknames. Speaking of cons, what movie are we watching?
We are watching the one, the only, non-Michael Bay movie, ConAIr.
Surprisingly non-Michael Bay movie.
Mm-hmm.
Also, surprisingly, the name of the airplane is not ConAIr.
No.
Why is it not ConAIr?
I think
Jailbird.
It would be too aggressive. Jailbird is really good. Jailbird is something that is realistic. I don't know why they cared about the name being realistic.
I was going to say, what in this movie is realistic?
Yeah. Yeah, I think they could have gotten away with just calling it ConAIr. So, like, have that painted on the side of the plane.
Yeah, I Mandela effect. I honestly thought it had ConAIr painted on the side of the airplane. Like, I was surprised when I saw Jailbird this time around.
You know what?
And
but it makes sense for John Cusack's character to name it Jailbird. That was his baby. Jailbird's a cutesy name. The other guy from the DEA would have called it ConAIr, though. Yeah, that's what he should have done. He should have called it ConAIr to make fun of John Cusack's character.
Yeah, I know. So I've seen this a bunch of times.
Okay, I've seen this once.
This was once, and where did you see this movie?
I watched it at your place.
Yes,
little movie night. Woo!
So first impression, what do you think about this movie?
You know, thinking. So you know how there's this episode in Community, right, where Abed watches all of the Nicolas Cage movies to try to decipher. I knew you were going to say that. Yep. Right, to try to decipher if Nick Cage is actually a good actor or not. I think Nydia, your wonderful, beautiful, gorgeous, amazing wife, had a great POV on Nick Cage's acting capabilities, which I happen to agree with, and we can go into it later. But I would be curious about what Abed would think about this movie. And that is my initial takeaway. I don't remember if they talk about it specifically in the episode or not.
Probably not, but this is peak Nicolas Cage.
You almost called him Keanu Reeves.
I know. It's because it's the same vibe. It's the same. Keanu Reeves could have been in this movie, and it would have changed much.
Yeah.
Nicolas Cage wasn't being explosive. Nicolas Cage, he was being, for some strange reason, Southern
this
accent.
Movie would have been amazing with Keanu Reeves. Oh,
it would have been Speed 2. What Speed 2 should have been, but. Alternate universe ConAIr is a sequel to Speed, where Keanu Reeves, Johnny. I don't know if I remember Keanu Reeves' character name in Speed, but I'm gonna guess it's Johnny because he has played 13 Johnnies. Anyway, he gets he's part of the DEA and he's actually undercover, and it gets like, and then the whole ConAIr plot happens. Pretty much the same, except there's no bunny, or maybe there's a bunny. Maybe Sandra Bullock's character has a daughter with Keanu Reeves.
There you go.
Yeah, there you go. Much better. Well, I don't think much better. Much different movie. This movie is close to perfection. So let's go to Letterboxd.
I did finally put in my Letterboxd review while we were delayed.
I saw. So our very own Casey Glenn. I'm sad that you only gave it 3 stars. I'm going to advocate for it 3.5 stars at least.
I don't think I'll be watching this movie again. I'm so sorry.
A little bit. This is a good, I'm going to watch with friends, kind of drunk or high movie.
Yeah,
that's a good excuse for this movie. Your review reads, another movie suited for business school. It's all about collaboration and synergy.
Yes.
Not wrong.
Like the level of collaboration that had to take place for this plot to exist, like in the realm of this world. There are so many prisoners that were probably sending snail mail to each other, which is also kind of like romantic if you think about it.
Yeah.
It's kind of beautiful. You know, like I think it just, I think it's a good movie about collaboration and leadership.
Cyrus was a good leader. Also, the moment the two agents, the DA agent and John Cusack, the moment they start collaborating is when they started winning.
Exactly. Also, my alternative review for this movie would have still been 3 stars, but it would have been, I could have fixed Cyrus.
But he was
a complete
psychopath. He had no redeeming. Even what was it? The Greenie, the serial killer. He had redeeming qualities.
Cyrus's redeeming quality was that he was a great leader. I don't know what to tell you. Like,
oh man, you're just attracted to power that way. It's weird to me.
And he's incredibly logical. Like, he could have been sus of Poe. And I mean, like, hindsight 2020, he should have been. But he really, like, also, he stopped the one girl from getting assaulted. So we, support that, you know? He had some morals.
He had an honor code, definitely.
He was just a killer, you know?
He was just a killer. Well, it's kind of, he's described as a criminal mastermind. So he kills because he has to kill. I don't think he's a killer first. He's just like, he's a businessman.
He is.
That sometimes
he's an entrepreneur.
He's an entrepreneur he's a working ACD. He'll lead, but he'll also fuck with the PSCs. And
I don't know why you typed this back to you. I don't like that. Cut.
If I want to identify with one character, I want it to be Cyrus.
No.
Yes, but I know I don't. But let's go to the other more accurate Letterboxd reviews. This 5-star and a heart review. Is there a 6-star option?
I did see that one.
This other 5-star and a heart review. When it comes to ConAIr, there are 2 kinds of people. People who think ConAIr is fucking awesome. People who I don't want to talk to. And then in quotation, the last Mohican is Burning Man. That was pretty fun. 4 stars and a heart. Wow, need a gif of Nick Cage beating up the guy yelling, "Don't treat women like that."
That's a very millennial review.
I feel like the only reason Danny Trejo didn't have facial hair
to protect the brand.
Yeah. Because he usually plays a villain, and that's kind of his point. He wants to play villain so people don't do like the villainous things. But this one was so despicable, so bad that he had to distance himself with his lack of facial hair.
I think, honestly, I probably would have given this movie 3.5 stars if they didn't include the whole like sexual assault aspect of it. Like if we could have just cut that out entirely.
Yeah, they needed a villain for Nick Cage to beat up and defend someone in there. You're not wrong. In this whole mostly lighthearted, even with the serial killer / cannibal that is Steve Buscemi. But even that was pretty lighthearted.
Yeah,
like they didn't show anything.
No.
Another 5 stars and a heart. I'm pretty sure that it is scientifically proven that this is the greatest film ever made. And it is a film that you can watch in the cinema. This other one, they say to be a man, you have to have a penis. Wrong. You just need to watch this movie. This next one, when you watch this film sober, it's a cinematic masterpiece. Once you've had a few, it's a little slice of heaven. This is true.
My favorites that I'll just pop into here. It's 3 stars and a heart, and it said this would have made an epic Fortnite collaboration. I think that's really funny.
I'm surprised it's not. Where is the Heroes of the 90s Fortnite collaboration? I mean, you had Aliens, you had Ripley, I think you've had Terminator in Fortnite.
Mm-hmm.
So I feel like you need long hair Nicolas Cage.
Yeah. Cyrus the Virus.
Cyrus the Virus.
Yeah. And John Cusack. I think those would be the three of the collab.
Yes.
Yeah.
This next review is a quote, but I'm not going to say the quote. I'm just going to let Nick Cage say the quote.
You're Nick fucking... Whoa, Cage!
Yep. That's the review. I think we can end with that one. It's a perfect review. Oh man, let's go into the background.
Yep.
ConAIr, released in 1997, budget of 75 million, box office of 224 million, well deserved. Directed by, surprisingly, not Michael Bay, but Simon West. Edited by Chris Levinson, Steve Mirkovich, and Glenn Scantlebury. Starring, it's going to be a long one, Nicolas Cage as Cameron Poe, Rachel Ticotin as Officer Sally Bishop, John Cusack as U.S. Marshal Vince Larkin, Colm Delaney, or Colmini as DEA agent Duncan Malloy. And then I'm going to go through all of the convicts, and I love all of the nicknames. John Malkovich as Cyrus the Virus Grissom, Steve Buscemi as Garland the Marietta Mangler Greenie, Ving Rhames as Nathan Diamond Dog Jones, Dave Chappelle as Joe Pinball Parker, MC Gainey as Earl Something Williams, Rinaldi Santiago as Ramon Sally Can't Dance Martinez, which is my favorite character, Danny Trejo as, unfortunately, Johnny 23 Baca, Jesse Borrego as Francisco Cindino, Nick Sindulin as William Billy Bedlam Bedford, and Micah D. Williamson as Mike Baby O. O'Dowell. And yes, that is Bubba from Forrest Gump, but you haven't seen Forrest Gump.
I have.
You have? Oh yeah, you have. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Do you recognize him as Bubba?
No, I've seen it once, a long time ago.
That's fine. It was a long list of characters, but they have fun nicknames. And I didn't realize that Steve Buscemi's Garland Greenie had a nickname also, an alias. But he was one of the best characters. Anyway, do you want to start the movie?
Yeah, go for it.
Okay, so we confusingly and surprisingly start with a bunch of stock footage of military things, clips. Mm-hmm. I don't get why. I mean, I guess it's implying that Cameron Poe, Nicolas Cage's character, was involved in all this, so he solved all of the Gulf War problems single-handedly. But I guess it's just to kind of give him a backstory. Although I feel like just looking at this stock footage, they're all different branches of the military.
That's so funny.
I think he's supposed to be like a ranger or a marine or something.
Oh, he's an army ranger.
He's an army ranger, yeah. But it's you cannot get a little bit of a backstory of Cameron Poe, and he reunites with his pregnant wife. I have questions. He is just reunited with her. He was apparently deployed or something. He's just coming back. She is pregnant. She doesn't look that pregnant. Not to assume, but I feel like she's probably less than a few months pregnant, right?
Yeah, no. This is like she's giving like 12 weeks.
Is it his baby? Wasn't he deployed? I got questions. That doesn't ever come up, but the math isn't mathing. I don't think.
This movie's made by men. That's all I'll say.
This is true. So he decides to reunite with his loving wife in this shitty dive bar.
Mm-hmm.
The shittiest dive bar in Alabama. And I guess they decided to be Alabama so that Nicolas Cage can practice his southern accent. Casey, what do you think about his southern accent? Would his lack of southern accent bump this movie half a star up?
No.
Oh.
No. It was just a funny bit to me. It didn't change the actual enjoyment level of this movie for me. Because there are times where he fluctuates from like a deep Georgia, South Carolina accent to more of like a generic Southern accent. And then there are times where he like just doesn't have it altogether.
Nope. Which is great.
Lovely. Mm-hmm.
And I want to be clear, when I say peak Nicolas Cage, I mean peak 90s Nicolas Cage. I think I mentioned to you this before. I feel like good acting Nicolas Cage doesn't start until the mid to late 2010s. That's when you can see a few of his good movies. Moonstruck is pretty good. He has a good ones early on, but I feel like, is Nicolas Cage a good actor or not, does start happening in the 2000s, 2010s, and forward. I don't think you get very good acting Nicolas Cage. Maybe The Rock's a little bit better, but just action hero, if you can call this an action hero, Nicolas Cage, I think is pretty good. And you can see that right in the next scene where Army Ranger, he has Ranger on his sleeve. He's full decked out in very formal, I'm guessing, army wear. And these three idiots start hitting on the wife and just being drunk idiots in front of this. How old is Nicolas Cage? I mean, he looks a little intimidating. Like, he looks like he could kick some ass.
Also, I get that this was the 90s and maybe Nam was fresh for some of y'all, old people, just you, Jesus. But I feel like usually, at least today, you don't fuck with military people like that. You leave them alone. You just.
I don't think that happened either.
I would argue now the military is far less intimidating because a lot of times I feel like in military, right? It's so technology based. People are computers and shit, But
he
this was
Ranger on his sleeve.
Yeah, I feel like it's disrespectful,
He's also wearing so many ribbons and stars and whatever in his uniform. I don't know. I feel like this is in this whole movie, I think this is the least realistic thing to happen. I would have loved if he was out of uniform, but he had to be in uniform when all of this was happening. But yeah, these three drunk idiots decide to start fighting with this guy. We see this Army Ranger beat up three guys, and he very quickly dispatches them and accidentally one punch kills one of them, the main asshole guy. In a very dramatic night scene, raining, all of that.
To clarify, the way that he kills this guy is flat palm, the heel of your palm to nose, which can be lethal because it will fuck up your brain. He only kills one guy.
Yeah.
I like to make that very clear. He does not kill all three of them, just one.
Yeah, he kills one guy. Yeah.
No knife, no gun.
No knife, nothing.
Palm.
He probably had a very shitty lawyer. I feel like any decent court or any decent judge and lawyer would have gotten him this decorated Army Ranger out of jail very quickly, or not even in jail, because he was self-defense. And
that's why I want to know, what was the general sentiment around military personnel in the year 1997?
I think, because it was a little bit out of the First Gulf War. It was 97, relatively peacetime.
Yeah.
Before the Iraq War. I don't know if anyone slightly older than me might want to chime in and remember the 90s, because I was 12 when this movie came out, or 13, and living in Mexico also, so I didn't have a good sense of it. But I don't know, because it seems strange. You would have think, but no, he got 4 years or 5 years, however old the kid is.
Yeah, it's a little bit more than that. I'm on r/ask lawyers, where somebody asks this question of about the beginning of the movie ConAIr starring Nick Cage. And
that's funny.
Yeah, because I can't be the only one that is so curious about this. So the lawyers in the comments, here's what some of the main takeaways are. Because I think he gets 7 years, because she's a little bit older, somewhere between that.
He gets 10 years, and then with good behavior.
Yeah, he gets paroled at the 8-year mark.
Yeah.
So she's 8 when he gets out.
Okay.
So the first comment, the first comment to this question is, don't let the law get in the way of telling a good story, which is funny. They say it's not realistic, but it's passable for narrative purposes. That being said, judges can and do refuse to accept plea agreements if they believe the punishment is inappropriate. Additionally, judges do have some discretion in determining the length of a sentence. And then somebody asked back, like, how often have you heard of anything remotely like this happening? The response, how often do people kill someone with their bare hands and be classified as a deadly weapon because of military training? Never seen it myself. How often do judges not accept plea agreements or impose a sentence outside the range suggested by lawyers? Fairly common, especially with newer lawyers who can't predict which way the judge is leaning. And I thought that was really funny. But I think I saw a comment elsewhere of like the alternative title of this movie should have been Shitty Lawyer, which also funny.
Yeah. So basically not realistic, but also not super unrealistic. Somewhere in the middle, but also this is where the plot needed to be. So this is what happened.
Exactly.
Got it. Okay, yeah, after the Shitty Lawyer courtroom scene, you get ConAIr, the title that even surprised you.
Yeah. I was like, oh my God.
It doesn't lie what a movie is. And then immediately cut to him in jail, long hair already, and writing back and forth, first with his wife and then his daughter. And we get closer to his release date. His daughter is like, oh, it's going to be my birthday. You're going to be released on my birthday.
Oh, his daughter's name is Casey.
No, the name is Casey. Casey Poe. That is a cute name.
It is.
Is Poe like a Southern name? I feel like, I don't know, but Casey Poe sounds very Southern, so maybe that's why he has. I was just trying to figure out why he had a Southern accent.
Yeah,
I think it's just he wanted to flex his acting chops.
Yeah. They wanted this to take place in Alabama, and he ran with it.
Yep. Poe describing his stay. It looks like a very shitty prison. There's riots all around while he's just in his cell. He's a nice inmate, apparently. He makes friends with Bubba, aka, what did I say? Baby O. And that's the first nickname, convict nickname. How come Poe didn't get a convict nickname? He shouldn't have got one.
He wasn't sociable enough to get a nickname, you know?
Cameron the Ranger Poe. There you go. But yeah, it looked like he kind of kept to himself. Although one of the convicts, well, they didn't recognize him, but kind of figured out something. You see Nicolas Cage workout routine, and then this is all happening just with the first 5 minutes. I do feel like these scenes take way too long. I wanted to get to the ConAIr. It is. But then you finally get to Jailbird, the airplane, not ConAIr, surprisingly. I had to double take. But this was definitely a Mandela effect. Because I thought the airplane was ConAIr. You meet a few of the guards. The first ones that make it to the plane is Paul and Baby O. You meet Officer Sally, and then you meet the other jerk officers. You had to have jerk officers, so it wouldn't be too sympathetic. And this is where you meet John Cusack's Marshal Vince Larkin. He looks like just a straight, just pretty normal, to the letter type of officer. And then you meet the badass officer, DA agent Duncan Malloy, driving in his convertible car. I don't know what type of car this is, but it looks like a nice car.
I'm obsessed with it. I want that car.
Becomes a little bit relevant later on. But yeah, parks in a handicapped parking spot because of course he does. And apparently the DEA wants a undercover officer in the Jailbird airplane. Do we know why? Or it's just because it's just a bunch of convicts, high-profile convicts?
Wait, why what?
Why does he have a undercover DEA officer in the...
Oh, because specifically one of the convicts, they want to try to get a confession out of him before it gets handed over to the FBI.
Okay, I didn't get that.
How many times have you seen this movie?
A bunch, and my brain skips the first 15 minutes. I just get to the part where Dave Chappelle gets thrown off the airplane.
That's your character, by the way. That's who I was describing.
I know. I don't like it. Yeah, he's okay in this character in this movie.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it would be me. Although the whole
hated that.
Oh, we get to that.
Mm-hmm.
The DA officer, Malloy, he's being kind of a jerk. He wants his undercover cop to have a weapon, a gun, a Lurkin. John Cusack's like, no way, there's no guns in this flight. There are no guns. He keeps saying that, but there is actually a gun in the with the pilots in the cockpit. But the agent Malloy, being the bad boy that he is, sneaks in a gun on his double agent, undercover officer.
Something I want to say is really funny about this movie is that they have this undercover DEA person go on the plane to get information from, I did not realize this was a term, but I'm looking at Wikipedia, so, and it's a blue, so, it has its own page. Narco-terrorist, I think that's really funny. Francisco Sandino, who is really not in the movie very often. Like, he has a few scenes. He's not the main criminal.
He gets a good death, though.
Yeah, they literally just pick him up on the way.
Yeah. I didn't realize that was his whole plot.
Mm-hmm.
Also, narco-terrorist feels like it's not a thing, because terrorism, not to get too specific about definitions, but it's just creating chaos for chaos' sake. Like, it's in the name, is to create terror. I feel like narcos have always a monetary or a drug reason to do things. They never do it out of just fomenting chaos.
Oh, I was going to give you the definition of narco-terrorism.
Oh, okay. There you go.
Okay, perfect. It is understood to refer to the attempts of narcotics traffickers to influence the policies of a government or a society through violence and intimidation, and to hinder the enforcement of anti-drug laws by the systematic threat or use of such violence. As with most definitions of terrorism, it typically only refers to non-state actors.
All right, I can see that. Mm-hmm. I don't know how much that happens, because I don't think narcos are that high. Like, they don't want to be that high, the high visibility. I think most of them just want to flow under the radar. But what do I know? I just come from a place where there's a lot of narcos.
The only example that they really go into detail is Pablo Escobar.
Yeah, but he was such a wolf. Anyway, I don't want to get flagged by any agent. ConAIr. So, as the DEA agent is being belligerent, larking, John Cusack is going through the list of all of the convicts on ConAIr. So he just very dramatically, we see John Malkovich, Cyrus is the profile, and then we see Ving Rhames, Diamond Dog, and then go through what they've done, who they are, blah blah. But it's like all very Suicide Squad.
Yes.
And it's just dramatic music. Again, I can't believe this is not a Michael Bay movie, but it is Michael Bay. All of this.
Also, did you recognize Diamond Dog as Marcellus Wallace from Pulp Fiction? Okay.
Ving Rhames. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't. We never talked about it. We only talked about Bubba.
That's true. Because I feel like I've seen Bubba and Forrest Gump and this, and that's it. Ving Rhames is to me, is the 90s. Like, he's everywhere.
This is only the second movie I've seen him in ever.
I mean, he was briefly in Guardians of the Galaxy. He's also the second one, I think.
Maybe. No, I did see the second one.
I don't remember. Yeah, but he was in a cameo.
And he's in Lilo Stitch as Bubbles.
Yeah, he's Bubbles. He's Bubbles.
Hell yeah.
Anyway. So we get most of the convicts. There's going to be a stop later on. We don't know that yet. But we get a few back and forth between the convicts and...
Have we gotten their walk-up song yet? Where it feels like we're in a fucking fan edit. Come on, this is the song I'm talking about. Let me...
Yeah, no, this is the scene.
God, this...
How do you get that song?
So that song plays multiple times in the movie.
Yep.
Would you call it a sting? Is that what a sting is?
I guess so. It's a theme. Yeah, it's a theme.
Yeah. Okay. It stuck out to me because it sounds like something that Trent Reznor created, which he didn't. But specifically, it reminds me of the opener of Closer by 9 Inch Nails, which is...
Yep.
And I was like,
so
shit.
In our alternate universe movie, this ConAIr is starring Keanu Reeves and Sandra Bullock.
Mm-hmm.
I think all the comics can stay the same.
Yes.
Directed by Michael Bay, music by Trent Reznor.
Yes. And then we take out the sexual assault.
Still leave Danny Trejo.
Yes.
But he could have been. Why wasn't he the narco terrorist? Or like an enforcer?
No, he could have been.
Something?
Yeah. No, absolutely. Like we had some criminals we could have cut out of this movie. We didn't really need them in here.
Oh, there's so many criminals. But speaking of, while that music is in the background, we do get a little bit of interaction of the criminals, the interactions, and this is where you get the sense that Cyrus has a moral code because he, in Spanish, very bad Spanish, but still in Spanish, asks Danny Trejo's character about his crimes and I know about you. I don't like rapists and I don't like people like you. So we get a clear sense of morality because he's a businessman. He's not a psychopath. Maybe he is a little bit. But who businessman isn't?
Yeah.
Or woman.
Exactly.
Or anything in between. We get a little bit back and forth between the guards and the convicts. Right after they take off, or right around the time they're taking off, you start to see a lot of the machinations of the Cyrus the Virus. And he has like a little pin thing stuck in his hand in between the skin, where he starts picking out the lock. And then at the same time, you get Dave Chappelle Pinball, how dare you, starting to take out a balloon from his stomach with a string. Nobody's saying anything. None of the other convicts who are not in on this are saying anything, especially the big dude next to him. Dave Chappelle is going to create a distraction. That's the start of the plot to take over the ConAIr. So this is Cyrus the Virus's plan, I guess. Because Cyrus the Virus and Ving Rhames are both in... they're both handcuffed and also in cells in like a specific cage.
Yeah.
Dave Chappelle's character is with the more general population because he's in blue. Cyrus the Virus and Ving Rhames, I keep calling him Ving Rhames, Diamond Dog. And Diamond Dog are in orange. So I guess they're like the worst of the worst. So they're in cages. The rest of them in blue are just kind of sitting, still handcuffed, but just sitting next to each other. And this is where Cooper is. And so Pinball, Dave Chappelle, I said Cooper, I mean Poe, Cameron Poe. Kind of same thing. Yeah. Pinball got his balloon out of his stomach. It has some lighter fluid and some matches. And sprays the guy next to him, who is this big Native American dude. And Dave Chappelle says a lot of slurs to him. Sprays it with the lighter fluid and lights him up, burns him, creating the distraction. And while chaos is happening, Ving Rhames and Cyrus the Virus are just banging on the cage. They're out of their handcuffs, but they're still in the cage. Also, while this is happening, the pilots find something like they know something's happening. Let's get out of this secure cockpit with a gun. That was like, if they hadn't done that, Cyrus's plan wouldn't have worked at all.
No, they were so reactionary. It was crazy.
Yeah, it was crazy. And they all depended on Pinball also, because Pinball was the one that led them out of the cages with one lever. He fought like two guards. This tiny, tiny little person, Dave Chappelle, fought a couple of guards. And that's when Diamond Dog and Cyrus the Virus got let out. And also at the same time, very conveniently, the pilot came out with the gun, and Cyrus immediately overpowers him, kills him, and threatens the other pilot. But you're correct. Cyrus doesn't kill unnecessarily. He kills who he needs to kill, and that's it. And then stops other people from killing unnecessarily, too. So yes, good leadership skills over here.
Yoo-hoo!
Hey, if you can be the leader of criminals. Everyone else is pretty easy. And I say that out of experience. I don't know if I might have told you this before, but we used to joke, my mom and I, that in her business, she was a contractor and we would hire local people to do landscaping, maintenance, all sorts of things, pest control. And I always had a little group of people, and we called them the felons because we joked that nobody could work for my mom if they didn't have bullet holes somewhere in their bodies, because they all did have bullet holes. They were all ex-criminals. And little 16-year-old Jesus was the manager of said criminals. So, yeah. After that, it's easy to manage art directors and copywriters. So they take over ConAIr. I mean, Jailbird, whatever. Mm-hmm. Nothing else is happening outside of this. Larkin, and is that his name? Yeah, Larkin, Malloy, they still haven't got wind that anything weird's happening. There's some shots of Poe just looking distraught, I think you might say, but not really doing or saying anything. He's keeping a low profile smartly. Oh, a C or D plot is Baby O's insulin. He's which is the reason why Poe stays in the plane. Yeah, so Baby O is diabetic. He needs his insulin shot, and he didn't get it. And while all this is happening, all of the syringes get broken. But there is one insulin bottle. But that's like a C plot, and the reason why Poe is in the air. Also, another reason, and you're right, like he should have been A or B, but another reason was that Sally, the officer, is there, and there's a Danny Trejo's character also there. Which that's the first instinct of Danny Trejo's character. Just, oh, we took over the airplane. I'm going to rape this woman now.
Crazy.
But that's how Cyrus and Poe first connect. They empathize with each other because they both hate rapists. Surprisingly. But yeah, because Poe defends Sally and Cyrus, the virus, backs up Poe. Mm-hmm. While all of this is happening, you also get another character. What's his name? The guy who Poe kills in the undercarriage.
Oh God, yeah. Who is that?
Is it Billy Bedlam? It's Billy Bedlam, right?
Sure, why not?
Yeah. So there's this other character, Billy Bedlam, who's like a tertiary bad guy who immediately hates Poe. Like, you see him, and then you know, oh, Poe is going to kill him at some point in this movie. So the convicts had taken over ConAIr. I'm just going to call it ConAIr. And then around the same time, there's some side plot investigation, where they find some things in Cyrus's cell. They find a false wall, and then they start finding the plans. Which is what's crazy is that they find the plans for the airplane. They find some correspondence between the inmates. They don't do anything with that information. They don't try to contact the airplane. They don't contact anyone else. They're just kind of, and Larkin is in all of this because ConAIr does have a stop to make. So they have a planned stop, and they're going to pick up more cons, the Swamp Thing included. I think Swamp Thing was integral to the part. Like he's a pilot. And also Steve Buscemi's character, who's like this Hannibal Lecter type massive serial killer. So they have this plan stopped. They're going to pick up more cons, but also it's just like something like, I think, 7 on and 6 off or something like that. So gonna have some cons on, some cons off. But 3 of those cons that are supposed to come off of the plane have died. So they have to get replacements. Cyrus asks for volunteers. Obviously, Cameron Poe wants off. Because they say, yeah, I'll volunteer. Baby O also wants off. He'll volunteer. They're hesitant because Sally is there and there's a rapist in there, but she's like, I'll be fine, whatever. And then there's a third old dude there that wants off the plane too. The plan is to take them off, but one of those, all of them are whites, so Baby O can't be one of those officers. So he has to stay, and because he has to stay, Poe is such a good guy, like, all right, I'll stay. It could have been Sally O, whatever. But there's a reason for him to stay, because Baby O needs his insulin. Somehow because that's Cameron Poe's mission right now. So he decides to stay. They just get one of the guards, and Poe has the idea of, well, I'm going to try to communicate with the officers outside of this airplane. And he shows one of the recordings of the officer in disguise, undercover cop recording. Because I didn't get why he had a recording, but now you told me he wanted to get a confession out of this random dude. So yeah, he shows his recording in one of the guards that's coming out. But they gag and they cover the guard's face, so they're none the wiser outside of the airplane, which this happens to be one of the jerk guards. Because there were some things around Poe's daughter's pictures, and I don't know, something like that. So this is all happening in this scheduled stop. While this is happening, this is when Larkin is in Cyrus the Virus's cell, and he's connecting the dots, and he's like, "Don't touch anything," and then leaves. What happens immediately? One dude touches something, and he explodes. Crazy. I do like the shot where the exchange of cons are happening, and it's a dust storm, and it's like very dramatic lighting.
And we get the sting.
We get the sting because we get who is the worst criminal ever. He is full Hannibal Lecter. They had two people with like the poles that you get rabid dogs with. He has a full Hannibal Lecter mask. You can't see him.
He's like in a chair that they have to like unlock, which originally I thought was a wheelchair. Yeah. And I was like, oh my God, where are we going with this?
Nope. He's just that dangerous. Yeah, so while this is happening, Pinball is off the plane because one of the cons, he's a pilot, and he knows there's a transponder locator thing in the airplane. Very quickly identifies it, takes it off, rigs it to another battery so it's still beeping, sending signals, and then Pinball's going to put it on a random airplane. Pinball goes to do that, and he gets distracted by this pretty girl. You're not wrong, Casey. That might have happened to me. Mm-hmm. I would have died You would have
gotten left behind. You know, you would have been chatting it up with somebody. You know,
I probably wouldn't have tried to make it to the plane. No. I think I would have just leave. But
yeah, you'd be like, well, okay, I guess I'm here now.
So they get the new cons out in the airplane, the old cons out in the bus out. One of the guards hit the fake con guard, and the recorder spills out, and they finally figure out something is wrong.
Mm-hmm. But they played it off super well because they kept driving. They originally played it off super well, and then they kind of shit the bed a little bit later.
Cyrus kind of pretty quick figured something was wrong because they're about to take off, and the one guard left there. They tell him, "Hey, stall them. The cons have taken over," and he's like, "Fuck, okay." Goes off and meets Cyrus the Virus. Cyrus is, again, dramatic lighting, sandstorm, hands behind his back. Immediately, you know what's going to happen. Cyrus the Virus sees behind this random guard a bunch of very flashy lights coming in, shoots the guard, and like, all right, we got to go. And they immediately try to take off, or they're taking off, leaving Pinball behind. Pinball's trying with all of his might to run after them, but like all of the doors are very closed. Nobody cared to check about Pinball. They just left. The one guy that sees Pinball run is the guy that Pinball lit on fire.
Also, it's kind of like you're already out. You know, why are you trying to get back in?
But he's not out. We later found out. Somehow he got entangled in the landing gear. Something is a great character also. I like his character. He's just there. He's just having fun.
He is.
Like, we don't really know what he did, but he's just having fun.
And you know what? He knows how to fly, so that's cool.
He knows how to fly. Yeah. This is when the lack of leadership and collaboration start happening on the officer side. Because the DEA, it's trigger happy. He just wants to shoot down the airplane immediately. Blaming Larkin, saying that he got the officer. How do they know that the undercover cop got killed? I don't know. But they immediately know that. I think they guess just by them finding the the tape, but it's not clear. Let's just kind of assume that real quick.
Oh wait, no, because sorry, she's tangled up in my stuff.
What happened to the paw?
Oh, she just had to get a teeth cleaning, and they, they put him under for that, and for whatever reason, she came back with the arm shaved, which is really funny to me. I think Cyrus was like, "Yeah, we found your undercover DEA person. Like, fuck you." I think he specifically says that.
Okay.
I felt like he did. I don't know.
Probably. He was a little of a chitster when he needed to. He was very sarcastic.
Yeah.
That's why you love him.
Mm-hmm.
So now Casey has a crush on criminal John Malkovich.
Yeah.
I'm sad that we didn't watch Being John Malkovich. I think you would have liked that movie.
Yeah, I mean, it seems like...
Have you seen that movie?
Mm-mm.
It's John Cusack also.
I know, which is so funny.
So they're in the air, they get away, and this is when Cyrus and Larkin start communicating. When Larkin calls Cyrus, the DA officer, there's so many characters, I'm not going to remember, Malloy, starts just yelling at him, "You motherfucker!" Cyrus is like, "I don't like him. He's an idiot." And it was immediately going to tell the bad guy that there's an informant in there. Because Cyrus is like, "How did you find out?" And Malloy was going to say, "Oh, because someone put the tape recorder." But then Larkin stopped him and he fainted in a heart attack, which wasn't true.
Yeah.
I think Cyrus figured something fishy was happening. Anyway. Malloy is all angry, wants to shoot down the airplane, and he's like, "We have the transponder, we know where they're heading." So they start tracking. Malloy immediately gets some fighter helicopters really quick, and he's off to go shoot down the airplane. Larkin doesn't want to, obviously, because there are still some officers in there, and he strongly believes there's someone in the inside helping them. There's all this back and forth. While this is happening, something tells Cyrus, "Hey, we're not going as fast as we should. There's a drag. Something is going on with the landing gear." And tells Cyrus tells Diamond Dog, "Hey, figure that out." There is some tension between Diamond Dog and Cyrus, because Diamond Dog is a Black Power fighter, terrorist person. Very generic, "I hate white people" label on him, just, I guess, to create some tension. But Poe does exploit that a little bit. He kind of plants some seeds of discord in there. But doesn't fit well because Diamond Dog immediately tells Poe, "Hey, you do it." So he's delegating, being a good manager, delegating the order that he got delegated to. Also, hey, this is part of your business plan course, right?
Yeah. I would actually say this is him being a bad manager because he delegated something that he shouldn't have delegated. No. So, yeah.
Exactly. But he still goes in with Poe. He just lets Poe do the dirty work. He's just in there. So they go under where all the luggage is, and this creates two things. One, you learn Pinball's fate. He was caught somehow in the landing gear, frozen with a stupid grin. And two, you get a where all of the inmates' belongings, or some of them are. So Poe's belongings is in there. Now, Poe at this point has told them that he has 15 years left. Because they're like, why did you stay behind? You could have leave. And I'm still gonna be here for a while. I don't want to. I'm afraid to go in free, whatever. So he is not telling them that he's about to be paroled, because the whole thing is that he's going to be paroled in his daughter's birthday. But now you get Poe's belongings, you know where they are, so you get something there. While they're in the luggage and Diamond Dog is telling Poe to get rid of Pinball, Poe very quickly, actually not that quickly, he took a while to write a very long message on Pinball's shirt. Yeah. But basically saying who's alive, who's left, trying to give some hints to the officer. I think he kind of also hints where they're going.
He writes U.S. Marshal Larkin Landing Lerner Airfield.
Got that, yeah. And all of this is important because when he gets Pinball off of the plane and Pinball falls from the airplane, very hilariously, by the way, this marks that, they're going a different way from where the transponder is going. Because the transponder was set on this tourist biplane or airplane, and they're going to the Grand Canyon, and just a bunch of old people in this tiny little airplane, which I would never go in. Honestly, those things scare me to death.
Yeah.
I would rather go on a helicopter, which is also scary, seeing how many helicopters has fallen recently.
Yeah.
Have you seen that helicopter in LA that fell from the sky?
Not in LA, no.
There's one, and there's several angles of it.
Damn, that's crazy.
But yeah, so the transponder is going one way, and Malloy, the DA, he's not listening to Larkin. Larkin is like, doesn't seem right. The DA is like, I'm still going for the transponder. Obviously, these are criminals, these are animals, they don't think. Cyrus is a criminal mastermind, but he's not wrong. Criminals are dumb. White-collar criminals are probably the smarter one, but I don't feel like any of these were white-collar criminals. Maybe Cyrus. I feel like, have you ever seen Baby Driver?
Yeah.
I feel like Cyrus is the boss in Baby Driver.
God, they should have, instead of Kevin Spacey, it should have been John Malkovich.
Well, they didn't know about Kevin. Well, maybe they did know, but not.
But yeah.
Isn't also Baby Driver, the main guy, also kind of iffy?
Now, yeah. But everything's a spectrum. So it's like definitely not as bad as Kevin Spacey, but like not good either.
It's a shame because I love that movie. But it's
a good movie.
That was one of my top 5 movies. We might watch it, but I don't know. I don't want to give Kevin Spacey more.
Yeah, I really.
But it's such a good movie. Anyway, finally, Poe kicks off the plane. Stupid Dave Chappelle with his stupid frozen grin, and then you get a hard cut and very whimsical music, and this old couple in their car, like saying, "Oh no, we got a bird poop." And the lady's like, "It's good luck." And then you see a very good shot of the Chappelle's body just slam into the front of that car. I feel like it would have been more of a splatter.
Yeah.
Maybe, I don't know. Maybe they were going that high.
I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. That's a lot of physics.
That's a lot of physics. So this tells Larkin there's a corpse of a con that fell in this direction, going opposite where the transponder is. So clearly, they took off the transponder and planted it in this little airplane. Malloy is not listening, and he's like, "Yeah, we're gonna kill them." And then you get this really funny scene of all the shoppers just going in for the kill in front of this tiny little airplane, and then they just fly next to it when they realize it's not the ConAIr. What did one of the shopper pilots say? If that plane has 30 inmates, I'm Elvis Presley or something like that.
Oh yeah. Which was really funny.
That was his one line, and he was very proud of that line. And you get a really funny old lady waving at the shoppers with taking a picture. Right after this is when the tertiary or fourth bad guy, whatever, Billy Bedlam, discovers that Poe is a free man. So he went back underneath the airplane, went immediately to Poe's belongings, and saw his parole release thing. And Poe tells Billy, let go of the bunny. He's defending the bunny. They have a very weird one-on-one fight in there. At one point, Poe power bottoms the other dudes into the ceiling.
That was crazy. That was insane. Who choreographed that?
I don't think anyone did.
Yeah. That's fair.
But yeah, Poe kills Billy Bedlam. So many names. Poe kills Billy Bedlam, and the only one that notices that 2 came down, 1 came up is Garland Green, the marionette, which at this point has been released from his shackles because everyone is a fan of this massive serial killer. I feel like back in 1999 or 1997, this whole true crime celebrity wave thing wasn't that big. But now I feel like I would get more that they would have this celebrity status, this awful human being.
Yeah.
For some reason, all millennial white moms love serial killers.
They do. They love true crime.
But yeah, throughout the whole, I love Steve Buscemi's performance. He looks very young, first of all.
Yeah.
Second of all, his whole demeanor is very calm, very like creepy, but not in a very it's creepy because of what he did, but he's not playing it over the top. I feel like out of all of the actors, he's the one that's the most level-headed, which adds to the creepiness because you know what he did. He very calmly, I think this is when he says that he once wore a girl's head as a hat through some on 3 different states. Like he says something awful like that, which makes me believe that maybe he didn't, but I don't know. Anyway, so we know that the ConAIr is heading to this random tiny little airport in the middle of nowhere. Think this is Cyrus's plan, that they were going to get into this jet with the drug cartel, but the drug cartel is going to double cross Cyrus. I wasn't that clear on that.
They weren't necessarily double. I guess maybe they kind of were. They were just taking Sandino away. Yeah. They're picking him up.
Because I think the plan was to exchange planes, but the new jet, this new plane, was much smaller. It wouldn't fit 30 cons.
That's right. Okay, yeah, so it definitely was a double cross. You're right.
So, or maybe they just were all along planning to only take maybe Cyrus and Diamond Dog and the top ones. But in any case, they get into this tiny little airport, or not even an airport, just a field. Larkin got Poe's message, so he knows they're heading to this little field. I honestly don't remember how Poe got the coordinates, but somehow maybe Cyrus told him. I don't know. Doesn't matter. Malloy is off in his helicopters. Larkin is in headquarters, and he's trying to get an airplane. He doesn't have anywhere, and the pilot's like, you can get there by driving if you have a fast car. Wonder what car he's gonna drive. And then you get this funny little double take of him looking at his shitty car and then looking at Malloy's convertible, and you just see the convertible just racing down. So Larkin is in Malloy's car going to this airstrip. They get into this little shitty place. There's some trailer park cars and I feel like the small community maybe in there. I don't remember how or why. Maybe because the runway was too short, but the big ConAIr plane got stuck in the dune. But it was okay because they were going to exchange airplanes. But there isn't another airplane in there. So they decided to start digging up ConAIr. Poe is being proactive, which Cyrus, as a good leader, acknowledges.
Yeah.
And rewards Poe with more responsibilities and praise. Hey, I'm not denying. You're not wrong.
Yeah.
He's a good leader.
He's a good leader.
Yep. While all of this is happening, the big evil serial killer, Garland Green, Steve Buscemi, wanders off, finds this random little girl in the middle of nowhere. There's no parents around. She's just in her backyard playing with the dolls. I think it's in a pool. Like she's in an empty pool. And Steve Buscemi goes there and just starts playing dolls with
her. They have a little tea party.
Little tea party. Okay, Casey, you first time watching this, did you think something bad was going to happen to the girl?
No, I didn't. I believed in Steve Buscemi.
Right? I feel like maybe back then when Steve Buscemi wasn't that well known, maybe there was some tension there. But no. You knew you weren't going to kill a girl in this mostly fun movie.
Well, also, did he kill 30 people? Yes. But
maybe.
I don't think they ever state that he killed kids.
Well, he said he wore a girl's head as a hat.
Well, they call women girls all the time.
This is true, but I feel like the way he said it, it was like a child's head. But
nah, I mean, also you can't fit that on it has to be another grown person.
Yeah, don't think about it too much.
The logistics.
While all this is happening, Cameron Poe decides to investigate, go around. Larkin finally there in his fast car. I think he got there before the convicts. Because he kind of hid the car and is kind of snooping around. Cameron Poe stumbles upon the narco-terrorist friends in the jet. A fight ensues. Larkin goes to the rescue, kills the narcos, or just shoots them. I don't know if he kills them because they end up trying to escape. But this is the first time that Larkin and Cameron Poe meet.
Mm-hmm.
And they have an exchange. Larkin is like, why didn't you leave? They say, like, there's someone there that needs my help. Larkin is, do you trust me? Poe is like, I only trust two people. Me, and you're not the second one.
No clue who the second one is, but okay.
Nope. I mean, it's the wife, right?
Well, he said I only trust two men, so I definitely think...
Yeah, he said two men, yeah.
It's probably Baby O.
It's God.
Yeah.
To a Southern white man, God is a man, so...
Yeah, you're right.
Larkin lets Poe go under the assumption that Poe's going to keep helping. The rest of the team is taking the ConAIr, digging it up, and then they see that there's a big convoy coming. So Cyrus, again, good leader, makes a plan real quick.
Mm-hmm.
And right before this is when the narco tourists try to escape, and they get on this shitty little jet plane, crash. I forget who. I think it was Poe who made them crash, right? I don't know.
It was Larkin. I think it
was Larkin.
He lowers the crane onto it.
Oh yeah, and the back half of the airplane gets cut off, and the narco tourists that the original undercover cop was there to spy on, they're dangling, and Cyrus very, very coolly, like a badass bad guy, grabs something's cigarette, throws it to the jet fueled, soaked airplane, and then lets him burn. Very cool death.
No. But the best line, because Sandino is like, we were gonna pick you up, like we were gonna take you with us, and like he's trying to like play it off, and he goes, sigh, like he like is trying to like make a plea, and before he can say Cyrus, he just says sigh, and then Cyrus responds, Anara, sayonara, slay.
Yeah, bad guy.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like Sandino gets the best death that character didn't really deserve, because he was a nothing character. Because Cyrus's death, spoiler, he dies because it's a 90s movie, wasn't that great. It was weird. It was
too silly.
Much. Too elaborate.
Yeah. Over the top.
But you do get this when the plane explodes. You get this good guy running from the explosion in slow motion scene that you need to have in a 90s movie.
Of course.
Michael Bay would have done this better somehow. But big explosions everywhere. So it is right after this when they fear that there's a big convoy coming. And Cyrus makes a plan. He does a little maquette of it's like a junkyard for airplanes, like a graveyard for airplanes. And he does that really quick. And he puts Coke
good leader.
cans. Yeah, good leader, good explanation. This random concept. What does that rock represent? Starts like, it's a rock.
And then kicks it out of the way.
Kicks it out of the way. Well, they have a plan. They're going to box in the convoy, because this is like a military convoy.
Yeah.
Box them in, kill everyone. That's a plan. Cool plan. Right around this time is where my favorite character, Ramon Salican Dance Martinez, finds a dress, and he looks beautiful. And I'm just going to say he, because he doesn't say she pronoun, but he looks beautiful. And we're loving it. Everyone's loving it. There's nothing negative happening around here, which I love.
Crazy. Yeah.
Yes. And Salican Dance, which I feel like that's a slur, but if it is, I don't know. But he's like, what can I do to help? And Cyrus was like, here's a big machine gun. I want a poster of that. The only one, which was really funny, but the only one that does something different, like treats Salican Dance different because he's a cross-dresser, is Cameron Poe. Because at one point, spoilers, when Cameron Poe starts fighting the cons, he's going to punch Salican Dance and then bitch slaps him. Which is
that was really funny fun. Though.
And you get a but that comes out a little bit later. So they're getting ready to fight the military convoy. Malloy is coming in hot with his choppers, but still a little bit far away. And big explosions, big fights everywhere. again, for some fucking reason, at this point, Danny Trejo's character decides that this is a good time to go rape the officer. Because we need that for some reason in this movie. Yeah. Cameron, and the nick of time, gets in, fights him off, and this is when you get the... Is this when you get the don't treat women this time, or was this before this?
I think it was this time.
Yeah. The don't treat women like that. Just keep slamming him. Sally does get a few good kicks in. Right before this, Cameron grabs a rope from the plane and ties it on like a pole, just I guess to try to delay the plane from taking off, and also finds a syringe for Baby O. So Cameron Poe, mission successful. He finds a way to save his friend from being a diabetic. The criminals fight off the military. Some criminals die, some military die. Big explosions. They are taken off. Finally, the military helicopters with Malloy are trying to come close, just in time to see the ConAIr airplane hook Malloy's car and just drag him. Very cool shot.
Oh, funny.
And Malloy's like very confused. Like, that looks like my car, but it can't be. And then we do see Greenie at this time walk into the airplane with the girl's little doll that looks like a convict doll, but for some reason. And you're supposed to have some tension here. Oh no, what happened to the girl? But we do see the girl say goodbye to the airplane, because obviously nothing happened to the girl. So Daddy-O has the shot now. He's okay. Mm-hmm. Sally's okay. Danny Trejo's character is tied to the airplane, which does come back later at the end in a really funny way. Mm-hmm. And this is when Cyrus is like, all right, somebody is a rat. Mm-hmm. Somebody spilled. Who is it? I finds Cameron Poe's, I think he finds Cameron Poe's parole letter.
Well, they also find, I think, the dead body, which is, Poe was a little messy with this. Poe should have dumped the body when they were at the airfield. That would have been so easy. It wouldn't have raised any suspicions whatsoever.
Nope. And also, Cyrus has the bunny, has the letters, the girl's letters. Mm-hmm. Daddy-O says, it's my fault. I don't think Cyrus believes it either. Shoots Daddy-O. Anyway, am I saying his name wrong?
It's Baby.
No, Baby-O. Baby-O. Yeah, Baby-O. Shoots Baby-O. I'm like, all this, and Baby-O, well, he didn't get killed, right? He just got shot.
Yeah.
I think he's arrived, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
And he's like, Sally is trying to help Baby-O. Malloy is right behind the ConAIr. He still has the choppers. He really wants to shoot down ConAIr now, because not only they kill his DA agent, mm-hmm. but they also destroy his car.
Yeah.
Although it was Larkin's fault, but still. Mm-hmm. And then he does a 180 and decides not to shoot them, because now he trusts Larkin for some reason. Because Larkin is like, don't shoot them. There's some men inside. We can take them down. Don't shoot them.
Yeah, I forgot. He says something that I actually did believe would have been convincing for the other guy to hear, and I forgot what it was. Didn't stick with me. But, yeah, Larkin convinces Malloy not to do it.
Yeah. But ConAIr is damaged. It's going down. Mm-hmm. They don't have fuel. They're down one engine. And, they're flying over Vegas. So they're going to crash land over Vegas. Because of course they are. And of course they're going to crash land when it's night and you can see all the lights. Because that's the best way to crash land into Vegas. Malloy is like, all right, Larkin, I didn't shoot your plane, but now it's going to crash into a civilian populated area. And at this point, I'm like, Malloy might have been right. They could have just shut down the airplane.
Yeah.
I guess Malloy also said all of the officers signed a... what is it?
Like a no hostage or whatever.
No hostage, no hostage clause. Mm-hmm. Of like, they're not going to be hostages. They agree that, I'm kind of on Malloy's side, but he was an ass and you're supposed to not like him, but he wasn't wrong either. Because now, not only is his officers on the airplane in danger, but also all of Vegas is in danger. Because what's the plan? They're going to land the plane in the Las Vegas Strip, because of course they are. While they're way on the Strip, the plane destroys the Hard Rock Cafe guitar and some other landmarks. Have you ever been there? I've been there.
Not to the Hard Rock location specifically, but I have been to Las Vegas, yes.
I need to go there again. They crash land very dramatically into what? Huh. I'm trying to see the hotel that they crash land into.
It's just a generic hotel. Like, I don't even think they made a partnership out of it.
Yeah,
so
but they're crash.
The name, yeah.
No, we're not gonna. But it was it's a typical Vegas hotel. Mm-hmm. While they're crashing, Cyrus is gonna kill Poe because Cyrus knows that it was Poe all along. Mm-hmm. And then a blade of the airplane engine, just crazy. Because of the grace of God, goes in between both of them. Really cool shot though. Mm-hmm. Everyone in that lobby, the hotel lobby, runs away and nobody gets killed. 0 casualties. In the whole of Las Vegas.
Nobody freezes, you know?
Nobody dies. Nobody freezes.
They all have really great reaction time.
Yep.
Couldn't be me.
Nope. You see a few of the surviving cons, including Baby O, fortunately. Mm-hmm. And a few of them are taken into custody. What if Sally Condensed says something funny here? See if I can find it. But I think he just says, oh. And he's like, oh, men in uniform.
That's so good. Yeah.
And that's the last line of Sally Condensed. Yeah, a bunch of the cons.
The Danny Trejo's arm.
Well, I was gonna get to that because they're capturing a bunch of cons. They don't find Cyrus, Diamond Dog, or something. But they're going through the wreckage, and you see Danny Trejo's still handcuffed, and you see the arm, and then they grab Danny Trejo, but the arm is still hanging, implying that the arm got cut off. You don't see anything, but it's a really cool shot.
Oh, good.
Yeah, and they're like, this one's dead. Like, I'm glad he just died unceremoniously, just. Mm-hmm. But yes, so Cyrus, Diamond Dog, something in his military hat that he stole from one of the soldiers. They run away. And what vehicle did they get to escape? The biggest, loudest, reddest thing, a fire truck.
Yeah. Also, just once again, adding to their list of crimes at this point, you know?
Yep.
So why not? Let's take a federal government, whatever, vehicle.
Because Poe is coming out of the airplane. Nobody tries to grab Poe. No. Everyone immediately knows he's a good guy.
Yeah.
He's helping Sally. Sally kisses him on the cheek. You were afraid there was going to be something there, but there's not. It's just
No, I wasn't afraid. I was just like, Sandra Bullock could have played this character, and I think it would have been fire.
Yeah, this is true. Mm-hmm. I think at this point, Cameron does see his wife, but then he sees Cyrus on top of the truck, and he's like, I gotta get him. I have a responsibility for some reason. His whole goal was to go to his wife and daughter throughout the whole thing, and now he has to finish this.
It was never his goal, though. It's crazy.
But he's a man.
And it's so funny because we didn't need the whole Sally getting attacked by Danny Trejo. We didn't need diabetic shock because pretty much hypothetically or in the context of this movie, they made out his motivation for staying on the plane to be to protect these two people. However, it was really just to get rid of a bad guy. That's always been his goal. That's his whole thing. Yeah. He doesn't like bad guys. He wants to take them down, right? You can get into a whole philosophical thing of does that make him a bad guy? But whatever, right? We see this at the end of the movie where he could be reunited with his wife and kid, but he's like, nah, gotta take down the bad guy.
It could have been I don't like bullies or something.
Yeah.
But we do get this really cool scene of him and Larkin just instantly going to a couple of shoppers of police motorcycles and not saying a word. They just know they got a mission, and they take the motorcycles.
Synergy, a united front.
Yeah, and they go after the fire engine. These are the only two officers that are doing this, by the way. Nobody else is after the fire truck with the criminals. Poe catches up. He superhuman launches the cop motorcycles into Diamond Dog and explodes. And with one arm hangs on the ladder that's hanging. One arm. He's just doing this.
Stupid. And I think it's also his arm that got shot. So it's like his injured arm too.
Yeah, because he's a man. He's an American.
Mm-hmm.
He's fighting with Cyrus, and Larkin goes and shoots into or access into the cockpit of the. Is it a cockpit? Yeah, of the fire truck, and something is having the time of his life. He's just having fun. He does crashes the fire truck. I think something dies, and then because I forget how the fire truck cockpit of the fire truck gets full of water, and that's how something takes out of control. Crushes the fire truck. Cyrus is somehow strapped into the ladder, flies into this bridge in between two buildings, into some power cables, and then you think he's gonna die. There's money everywhere because they crashed into a security truck for some reason that was just there.
Yep.
So there's money, fire everywhere. It's a metaphor somehow. And then somehow Cyrus goes into a conveyor belt on a construction site that has like a hammer thing that keeps like pummeling.
Yeah.
And very perfectly his head goes into this tiny little thing and doesn't move and lets the hammer thing squish his head. And that's how Cyrus died. And then there's money everywhere and everyone's celebrating. Stupid. Throughout the whole thing. Oh, actually, makes perfect sense why Poe went after Cyrus, Casey. Because
he didn't put the bunny
Poe
back in the box.
saw Cyrus on the fire truck, he saw that Cyrus has the bunny that Poe was going to give to his daughter. So he needed to go rescue the bunny. That's why all of this happened. Because at the end, you see the bunny going into a sewer, and then last minute, Poe grabs the bunny. It's a burned, wet, ugly bunny now.
Mm-hmm.
That he's going to give to his very scared 8-year-old. I don't know how much they walked, but I feel like Larkin and Poe just walked to where the airplane crashed, because they walk back to where everyone is.
Mm-hmm.
And then finally, Poe and Larkin have some exchange words, handshake,
Yay.
and then Larkin also makes up with Malloy. Somehow they're friends now. And then you get the scene where Poe sees wife and daughter.
Which is objectively Nick Cage's best acting. Like, this is where he pulls out.
Yes.
Like, it was really, really good.
Yeah. You were
shocked.
You were surprised.
Yeah.
Because, they were good acting. Poe wants to give the very ugly, wet, and burnt bunny to daughter, and the daughter is understandably scared of this wet, bloodied, hairy man in front of her. Because at this point, we know that she had never met Poe because he didn't want her to meet him in jail. So it was just correspondence.
So stupid.
Yeah.
I think it's more important developmentally for the kid to see you in person rather than I don't think it's going to harm her too much to be around other people visiting there.
But leaves the question, is it implied that the mom did visit him or not? Because again...
That's a good point,
I'm suspicious that this is his daughter. I feel like he's kind of a cop. I don't think she waited for him. I think she was having fun.
Let's see.
What are you looking for?
How is it possible for it to be his kid? Because I don't know shit about military. Who knows? Maybe he was just gone for a few weeks.
I don't think anyone thought about this as far as I did.
No.
But we get the final scene. They hug, they kiss, happy endings, fun music.
Yay.
And we do get a kind of post-credit scene, but before the credits, of arguably the worst criminal there, Steve Buscemi's Garland, the Marietta Mangler Greenie, having fun in the casino and just
that was good.
whatever that game is, and then we end the movie. It was a fun movie. It was a very stupid movie, but it was a fun movie. Let's go right into the awards.
Yeah.
We've got 3 awards: Best Actor Ever, Worst Actor Ever, Best Scene Ever. Casey, Best Actor Ever.
John Malkovich. Easy.
Yep. Ooh, I almost want to be a contrarian, kind of, and give it to Steve Buscemi. Just because he was creepy, but not trying to be creepy, but he was just creepy. But I'm gonna get to John Malkovich. I think he did a really good, over the top, but not too over the top villain. He was a very good villain. Also, now we know he's your crush because he's a good leader. Worst actor ever.
I spent so long trying to figure out who this guy is. Don't know. But the guy that opened up the do not open box and like set everything into an explosion, he was hamming it up a little too much. Yeah. Like he was a little too like, nah, it's not a big deal if I open this box. Like the cheese was a little too cheesy.
I'm gonna give it to Dave Chappelle. Only because, first, I don't like Dave Chappelle. Second, every 90s action movie had to have a comedian in there that was just being that comedian. Like Josh Dredd had J. Leguizamo, and this one had Dave Chappelle, and he didn't really live up to it. I think Dave Chappelle was trying to be a character that he wasn't. And a lot of his lines felt improv in a bad. Like it was like they were, all right, you're Dave Chappelle, do improv, do funny lines, and then he just couldn't do it. I don't know. I feel like he was trying to be funny and he wasn't funny. And if he wasn't trying to be funny, he was kind of cringe. Everything that he did in this very cringy movie. Just didn't like him. Or maybe just me being biased.
Well, I think he improvised a lot of his lines, so you're probably...
Yeah, like I said, bad improv.
Yeah.
Best scene ever.
I think I really like the scene whenever Cyrus and U.S. Marshal John Cusack, I can't remember his name, Lance, right? Maybe? Are talking. Larkin, yeah. I like it when they're talking. And he's like, I don't like that guy. I don't know. I found their chemistry to be really good.
Yeah, that was fun. And yeah, you got a really good sense of who they were as characters. And like, yeah, this is where, these are really good actors. Like really quick, all three of them. Very good chemistry. Weirdly, in this, and you're going to love the scene that I'm going to pick because it's all about leadership and planning. In this very explosive and very over-the-top movie, I'm going to give it to when Cyrus the Virus is planning the fight with the military convoy and has the little maquette. And the other guy was like, what's the rock represent?
Yeah, that's a good one.
Because he was like, it didn't feel out of place. It felt like good pacing. It could have felt like it's dragging. It didn't drag. It was what it is, and it a good character building for Cyrus is like a mastermind, and it was funny, and I liked it. It's a tiny little scene, but it's my favorite. So Casey, somewhat important question, very important question, but not as important. Solely based on this movie, was 1997 the best year ever for movies?
You know what? Yeah, sure. Why not?
Yay! That makes me happy.
Yay!
I'm gonna give it a yes too.
Shocker.
Hey, I gave you the option of The Rock, Face Off, and I think you chose. You might have liked The Rock better, I think, because it actually has a better plot.
All of them looked so boring to me. I hate action movies. I find them so boring.
But you didn't find this one boring. This has a lot of characters. This one it's an action movie, but it's an action, I would say, almost an action comedy movie, just because it had a lot of characters.
No, I would say I was pretty bored during this movie. I think my version of bored looks very different than your version of bored. How about that?
I mean, the fact that you gave it a yes reluctantly surprised me. But I think my dogs were keeping you entertained. I think my dogs might have helped in that.
Yes.
Keeping you entertained.
Yeah, being at your place helped. Absolutely. I would have gotten on my phone at some point if I was watching this by myself.
And Buki just talking throughout the whole movie.
Well, thankfully, she only showed up when we got to Lerner Airfield, so that helped.
Yeah. Halfway through the movie, which is nice. So I think next week we won't have a movie, but we will have a 1999 special. We said that we were done with 1999. We had a 1999 episode of movies we wish we saw, but we didn't, except that I bullied both our guests, Aristotle and Casey, into watching Fight Club. So we're going back to 1999, and next week we're going to watch Fight Club.
Woo!
Which, so usually I leave the Letterboxd reviews, but this is one of the reasons why I want to watch Fight Club. And I'm going to read this Letterboxd review. 5-star and a heart Letterboxd review for Fight Club. First watch, Fight Club is the best movie ever made. Second watch, Fight Club is a deep commentary on the dangers of consumerism. Third watch, Fight Club is a disgusting cesspool of toxic masculinity, and it's not as deep as its fanboys think it is. Fourth watch, Fight Club is a critique of toxic masculinity, and it's deeper than its fanboys think it is. Fifth watch, Fight Club is the best satirical gay rom-com ever made.
My God.
This is why we're watching Fight Club.
That's good. I'm excited.
So, that'll be next week. I'm excited. Until then, bye.
Bye. Who is your favorite criminal on the Jailbird? Hit us up at bestyearever_pod on Instagram and YouTube and let us know. Leave us a comment or send us a message. Or you could even send us an email at bestyeareverpod@gmail.com. And while you're at it, give us a like, leave a rating, and go subscribe on all your preferred podcast listening platforms.